Tom is back.
Tom is back. Tom is back. Tom is back.
Right, we need to put a stop to that for a start. Yeah, it's the Video Gamer UK podcast, as per usual.
Oh, are we going?
Yeah, we're just gonna run right into it.
I like it powerful. We're getting right in there, getting there deep.
We've been playing lots of stuff. Tom, tell us about Scream Ride.
Are we going already?
Oh,
Yeah,
this is
Wow.
Jim is the king. Look at
Tom
this.
doesn't even know what's going on
I
here,
like
Jim.
it. Jim is again. He's taking the ball and riding it into battle.
No, I don't like it. I need more of an ease into this.
No, we just got to go.
I'm not very relaxed.
I want to know about Scream Ride. I've played a weird mini game from Scream Ride and it was terrible.
No, that's a third of the
That is
game.
the game, probably. What did you play?
It was a big
it's
Super Monkey Ball.
We played
Super
the bit
Monkey
you set
Ball.
up for.
You played Monkey Ball.
It's not
That's what it
Monkey
was.
Ball.
It
Miller.
was like a
Forthcoming
Monkey Ball
video.
mini game.
You
That's
kept
what it was
saying
like.
Monkey Ball. It's not Monkey
Nothing
Ball.
like Monkey Ball.
There was a mini game in Super Monkey Ball that was a bit like this
We
thing in
throw a
Scream
ball
Ride.
at things.
Yeah, you
Well,
got to
yeah.
break it down.
Scream Ride is the Xbox exclusive game on 360 and Xbox One that is built around, well, kind of built around roller coasters, kind of built around destruction and blowing things up.
I was really excited for this game
Were you?
because I love Roller Coaster Tycoon.
But it's
Yeah,
nothing
it's
like
nothing
Roller
like
Coaster
that.
Tycoon, right? It's not
Nothing like
even
that.
in the same ballpark. It's just
In that, well, you can build roller coasters.
Okay.
That's the link.
See, yes, well, it's Frontier who did
Yeah.
Roller Coaster Tycoon
Yeah.
3. I thought it was going to be you build a roller coaster, but you don't complete the roller coaster essentially.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't loop. You build it and you fling
Well,
people from the roller coaster into buildings. That's what I thought it was.
there is a part of the destruction bit is, well, it's not really a roller coaster, but you can build like a track that launches the car bit into buildings.
That's all right. Why didn't we do that?
But that isn't like,
that sounds bad.
that's the worst part of the destruction mode.
What?
The destruction is best when you're throwing the balls and the other bits into the building.
that just felt a bit like a game I would have played in my browser 10 years ago. I mean, obviously not to the same level of quality.
Yeah.
Yeti Sports.
Yeah, it felt like my Game Boy Advance or something like
It's
that.
Angry Birds 3D.
Yeti
isn't
Sports
it?
with a bit of a budget.
Yeah, pretty much.
But not much.
We've got we're going to be doing a VG versus video featuring Scream Rise.
Can I tell you who won?
No.
No.
That's just ruined it for everyone.
Because it wasn't me. I'm not happy.
Or maybe it was.
But was that the slice of that game that you gave us to play for that
Yeah.
competition? Because that's the only bit any of us have played.
Yeah.
Is that like the game?
I mean, is that the whole game?
I played a bit more
Well,
than
that
that.
is 1/3 of the game. Basically, the career mode, you get to, there's 3 different parts to it. You ride or drive a car on a roller coaster.
Shite.
Is this one you've built or is this like pre-made roller
this is
coasters?
pre-made ones,
Okay.
and you have to get around as quickly as you can, score as many points, scare people by going as fast as possible, but stay on the track. But then you also get points for throwing people off the track. So it's kind of like, I don't know what the best option is sometimes, but you have to like lean into corners, trigger these like boost plate things, lean the car up over like obstacles and things like that. It's not, I mean, initially it's okay because it's kind of a bit exciting that you're kind of, it's very up and down, like the camera is a bit stomach churning, like you're
Right.
not on the coaster, but it feels like it's fast and it's quite fun. But then you do it a couple more times, you kind of lose interest in that mode.
But yeah, because when something like Roller Coaster Tycoon, it is, you know, the over-premising goal that you want to build a roller coaster that's really good and get people to your park. And
Yeah.
So I don't really understand what your overall, scaring people.
It's score-based.
Right.
For that is one of the modes that you drive the cars, essentially. And then
Rubbish.
the next mode is the destruction one. So
What we played, we throw a ball into buildings.
You
and
throw
get
balls
more
into
points.
buildings, or you launch cars, like the roller coaster cars, off tracks.
So much balls
Into
chat
buildings.
yesterday. It was unbelievable.
And that like progresses so that you have like bounce pads and like cannons that you fire into them and relaunch and stuff. And it kind of never gets much better than just the pure I'm lobbing a ball into a building and trying to make it blow up. But that is the best part of the game, I
It's
think.
basically Angry Birds, isn't it?
Yeah, or like Boom Blocks or something like that on the Wii. I mean, it's quite fun, blowing stuff up, destruction. It's quite fun. It looks okay, although it's a bit like big Lego blocks falling apart. There's
Yeah.
It's all a bit blocky. Like you can see the blocks coming apart as the buildings collapse and stuff.
Yeah.
And then the final bit is the building the roller coasters, which is built into the career mode. So it might say, "Oh, look, we've got part of this built. Finish it off within like you have to use a certain amount of track or
No, this is not what I want from a roller coaster building game.
It's really not, is it? It's not. To me, it sounds like 3 mini games that somehow are trying to somehow justify themselves as the main game, whereas these feel like they should be offshoots of building a roller coaster.
The other bit is building whatever you want. Like there's a sandbox mode,
right?
And you can build anything that is in like the career stuff. You can build it from scratch. So if you want to build a roller coaster, you can do that. If you want to build a destruction level, you can do that. You can build launchers.
Can you build an entire park?
Well, it's not a park as such because it's not.
It's experimental.
It's not a
scientific research.
It's not a park sim. It's a roller coaster sim.
Right.
So you're not. It's not like theme park. It's not like a management game ever.
Okay.
So if you want it to be that kind of game, it's not that.
Right.
It's all about the actual experience of doing what you're building.
I can see Dave's little heart breaking right now.
But it's not. I mean, if you want
It's
Roller
gone.
Coaster Tycoon, that game is coming. I think they're making a PC version of whatever the last one was, aren't they?
Frontier isn't, but
Someone is.
someone is.
Do you think it feels like it's missing something?
Well, it feels like it should be like priced like something like Trials. Like it should be a downloadable game, and because if it was like £10-15 and probably less than that in like a sale, I could have fun with just the destruction bits. The other bits I don't like as much. Or you could just buy that one bit maybe, and that it's fairly like you can just play it and you're having an okay time. It's not brilliant, but you're not having a bad time. It's like it's something you just do. You get all the badges and stuff. It's got that kind of you've got to get a bit higher score to get the next badge and unlock the next bit. It's kind of a little bit of a hook there.
It's a kids game though, isn't it?
Well,
It feels like more of a kids game than I was expecting.
It doesn't
to be.
feel kiddie though. It doesn't feel like it's targeted at kids in terms of the way it's presented. Like at certain bits, like
You
when
are murdering people during it.
Well, no one dies. I don't know how they get over that, but no one does die.
They always have a cutscene where everyone gets rescued, don't
Yeah, and
they?
there's a cutscene often where one of the men is on top of the woman,
Whoa.
and they're kind of like, "Oh, I've accidentally landed on top of you. This is a bit awkward."
But,
I don't know about awkward.
That's the dialogue though. That's verbatim.
It's not terrible, the whole thing, but it doesn't feel like it should be a.
It sounds lacking to me.
It shouldn't be at retail, like in stores. It should be a download, and it should be
How
like
much is it? Is it like 30?
It's like
30
30
quid.
quid.
Yeah.
I've been worried about it for a while because it's been one of those that Microsoft really hasn't promoted at all.
No, they announced it and then it kind of just
and it
vanished.
disappears.
Yeah.
And you always know that when
Yeah.
that happens, it's not gonna.
You know what?
be-
It sounds to me like, I mean, like, that's what I agree with Tom. It sounds to me like if this was just on XBLA, like $11.99,
Yeah.
it would be fine. But as you know,
I think it's missing the price point that you don't care about the lack of much to it. Like if it was cheaper, you wouldn't care that it was literally just 3 mini games extended to a bigger game. But also it needed to look better. Like the destruction part of it looks okay. Like when the
It's a
stuff
cross-gen game though, isn't
when
it?
the buildings come
Frame rate's
down,
dog shit, mate.
yeah, when the buildings come down, it looks okay. But had it been like properly, like wow, this is crumbling to pieces and stuff, and there's all this smoke and everything, and it looked impressive, it'd have been another selling point basically. But it just looks okay. The frame rate does go to shit basically quite often.
Dog shit.
Yeah.
as
When
some
we were
might
playing
say.
it yesterday, like Dave was having cardiac arrests every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And
Every time it went to we restarted the level,
Yeah.
I dived. I was
Said
upset.
this pan around the level.
When
and
it rebuilds
dropped
it,
about 5
it
FPS.
drops terribly. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it just doesn't. It doesn't quite like. Had it been really amazing looking, it'd have got over some of the other stuff because you've gone, oh look at this building destruction, and you'd have been like, oh that's nice, and you could have accepted that it was a bit basic.
It's sad because it bores me, and it feels like it should be an exciting thing.
I
you're
feel
building
like-
super cool roller coasters that they're designed to kill everyone.
Yeah.
that's a cool idea. But
I feel like
it's
something you'd start playing on like Sunday at midday, and by 3 o'clock you're like, I'm done with this now.
Yeah.
Just leave it alone, which is
Yeah.
ridiculous because this is, I know it's not like, a massive title, but this is Microsoft's first party title in ages.
It's their only
And now it's
retail
just-
game like coming until whatever they haven't announced yet, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
It's Forza this year.
well, yeah, but they've got other retail games, but I don't know when. They haven't dated anything past this, have they?
When was the last game they had out first party was Forza Horizon, correct? 2.
Well, whatever.
Well, they also
no,
carried
they
their
had,
Sunset and Forza and
They
all
had
that.
it was
wasn't it?
last Christmas. They had
That's bad. This is the first one since them.
Halo, Forza, and Sunset, which was a decent lineup. And then between that and
this year they got Halo, Forza, and something Tomb
between
Raider.
that
Roller
and,
coaster
like, I
ride.
don't know when the next game's coming out at retail for exclusive on Xbox, but this is it as far as announced stuff is, and like it's not.
So
brilliant.
basically, it's Scream Ride or The Order. That's your choices right now. Which
Well,
one do you want?
I think
kill the
the
Order.
order. The order clearly has something about it that's more impressive than this. Plus, Sony have got like Bloodborne coming, and who knows, they might have some other stuff before like, until Dawn
Yeah.
is meant to be
Maybe
coming out
summer,
before
maybe,
the end
I
of
don't know.
before
Yeah.
like winter.
I think
so-
Until Dawn will surprise everyone.
Yeah, a lot
I
of
think
people
I'm
are
really
excited
looking
about it.
forward to it.
Until
Yeah.
Dawn will reach the point where everyone's surprised because it looks really good, and then it will surprise everyone by being terrible.
No, don't say that.
Predicted by Jim Trinker.
No, it's the kind of Heavy Rain game that I want. It feels like the story's there to start with, whereas
yeah.
in Heavy Rain,
I love the story in
I'm
Heavy
so
Rain.
sad.
I love
I
Heavy
like.
Rain.
looks all
Well, I
right.
like the overall idea of it, but
Yeah.
I didn't
Oh, I
think it.
love it. I
At least
think
it's
so
something
good.
as well. Microsoft have got nothing. Like this is it
Don't
until
say
They put all their money
they've
into
got.
Tomb
I think
Raider
they've got the best
exclusivity.
exclusives, but they need to have some stuff out. Like why buy an Xbox now if you don't really care about what they've already released? There's nothing. There's nothing until what?
Because they're
September,
going well
October?
cheap, Tom. Tom, they are well cheap at the moment. Microsoft need to sell them.
How
Yeah,
much
I-
are they now?
You get it for $279 now
That's
with
not
loads
cheap.
of games.
No, it's still a lot of money.
Yeah, but you can bet with Dragon Age in there and
Buy a new
both
graphics card for
Assassins.
that.
Yeah,
I
or
mean, it'd be fucking useless on its own right now. But, you know,
Just hold it. Fuck you, Microsoft.
just
yeah, but
stroke
compared
it.
to what it was.
This is true. Anything else you've been playing, Tom? Apart from Scream
I'm
Rise?
still playing Wolfenstein,
Yeah.
which it's
Are
still.
you liking it more than Miller did?
Well, I think I like it a bit more than Miller, but I don't like it as much as like most
NeoGAF.
people
Game
seem
of the
to
year,
like it.
9 out of 10
Like the problem
nonsense.
with Wolfenstein is that it is a good first-person shooter, but as soon as it just everything, lots of stuff jars.
That's what I said.
The cutscenes in particular, like the story's not bad. It's decent for a shooter,
Yeah.
but the way it's presented doesn't fit with the actual shooting, and it kind of.
Who did you kill? Or who did you let die?
Oh, that was ages ago.
I can't even remember the choice. It was man one or
There
man
was
two.
no-
It was
there
old
was-
man or young man,
Yeah.
wasn't
There
it?
was no
really?
real. You didn't care who you picked, did you? At that
I
point?
killed the young
So-
guy, and then the old guy went mad at me for killing the young guy. I was like,
I
well,
think I did that as well.
I
Yeah.
should have killed you then, shouldn't I? Really?
And I
Like,
stabbed him. Like you're both dead now.
What's the difference? You get different upgrades or something.
You get? That's
Do
it.
you?
Yeah, you get different upgrades.
Every
That's
time I
literally it.
sleep, I get health upgrades. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Is that based on
no,
that
no,
choice?
but there is. It gives you a different power or something. It's needless. It doesn't make any difference.
that's
it, now
branching
dead.
branching
Dead, I'm saying.
storylines, Miller. Branching.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
a branch is
But-
like the same branch broken in two, then thrown in opposite directions.
I'm worried we all sound really down today.
Oh, I'm ready to get
No,
positive.
I'm quite.
I'm just
I quite
waiting for
like-
my section
I
and
quite
get
like
pumped up.
Wolfenstein. I quite like Wolfenstein. It's a game like
Can we just forget Scream
good.
Ride ever happened?
Yeah.
Although we say that, right? I've read some quite positive reviews.
some of those reviews, Dave, are unbelievable.
I'm going through the Metacritic right now. There's a
Oh,
lot.
don't go through the Metacritic.
IGN 82,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's IGN though, isn't
It's
it?
getting the review is going.
Polygon 8.
Oh, yeah,
And IGN 82 is
Really
like,
better than Last of Us. Confirmed.
Confirmed.
Scream Ride.
Polygon says Scream Ride better than Last of Us. Everyone tweet Polygon today.
No, because we go mad when people do that. to
yeah,
us.
it means nothing. It's an arbitrary number. It doesn't matter.
yeah, exactly.
They said it's like one of the biggest surprises of the year or something. I think Polygon.
Why did it like
the
fall
first
out the
great-
sky and smack them on the head?
One of the first great surprises of 2015. That's the
It's not
Oh, that's
like
good.
I was hoping for it to be that, but
Look, if someone else has found the positivity in that game, then good for you, people.
I just don't know how much game is there.
Well, I think
That's
Well,
it.
that's
it
my
all
point.
comes
I
down to
think,
if you
yeah.
want to build stuff. If you want to build stuff and you like that part of it,
Well,
you'll like it a
Minecraft
lot more.
exists.
Yeah,
yeah.
Right.
good point, Dave.
I think Miller's itching to do his segment.
Go on, Miller.
Miller.
I'm not itching. I just want to say to people this. If you're having a bad day, if you're feeling negative, or if some asshole has said something bad to you,
Like
ignore him.
Wolfenstein is a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, ignore them. It doesn't matter. All that matters is you. You're the king of your world.
Wow.
Stand tall. And if you're having a bad day right now, I want to take a moment for yourself. I want you to put a smile on your face. I want you to go look out the window
I'm
at the
gonna do
beauty that is the world. And remember,
What if you work
someone
in
has tried to get
Croydon?
you down, they are not worth your time. There's even beauty in Croydon, Tom.
Yeah, but out the window there isn't. One way we've got a market that is
food.
quite filthy.
Food. No, I just want to say, and embrace your passions as well. Don't let people talk you down. It's ridiculous. And on that note, I've been playing Helldivers this
Yeah,
week.
what do you think of Helldivers?
I think
It
Helldivers-
doesn't matter what you think. So I
Yes,
just wanted
The
to do
Rock.
that once.
Yes, do it.
Carry on.
No, I think Helldivers is brilliant. I have become just a man that plays like digital download indie games now, but I don't care.
You are Bratters.
I am. Helldivers is
You won't shut up about falafels.
is it's basically it's made from the guys that did Magicka.
Yeah.
And there is, if you played Magicka, you will feel...
Paradox?
No, they're called Arrow...
Am I getting confused?
Arrowhead Game Studios, I think they're called.
Okay, ignore me.
Are you thinking of Magic the Gathering?
What am I thinking of? I don't know what I'm thinking of.
But yeah, so the basic premise is it's a top-down twin-stick shooter. So as you'd expect, but it has this sort of persistent world that hangs over the top of it, where you're constantly battling against alien invasion. Earth is now called Super Earth. And to ensure that Super Earth doesn't get taken over by the bad guys, there's all these different planets in this universe they've created.
It's a SNES game. Super Earth.
Is it? No, I thought you meant there's actually... It probably was. And the way you do that is you liberate these planets. Mm-hmm. And that all comes about by... you have something called the community influence, which obviously all ties into the online stuff. And if you feel the community influence bar, it means that area then belongs to the humans again, and you carry on this fight. So... multiplayer and going online is the big appeal here. Playing with friends, not playing with friends. And that's something I really like about it, is you don't have to play with your mates to enjoy the way it's all set up, because it's done so in a way that you can instinctively tell people where to go, choose which objective to go to. Oddly, it reminds me a bit of Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, in the sense that if anybody played that, it was like the co-op Final Fantasy game on the GameCube.
Yeah.
You remember it had that big circle around you?
Nope.
Okay, well, it did. And that kept everyone going in the same direction. So no one could screw you over by, sort of not going the way you want to go. And this does it in a similar way. So, I was playing with 3 people that I didn't know, and we always wanted to go to the same objective. We all fought for each other. There was a few idiots, because obviously, much like Magicka again, friendly fire is on. It's always on. You cannot turn it off. And while at first that kind of pissed me off a bit, because I'm like, I keep killing people. They keep killing me. Eventually, I come across a griefer who just kills me because he thinks it's just funny. It's like, no, it's not. You're being an asshole. You eventually realise that it needs that, because it stops the game coming just, unload all your bullets in one go. You have to be really smart with the inventory that you have, because if you don't, you will run out of firepower, ammunition, and you'll be like, well, now I'm screwed. I'm in the middle of this sort of... this planet with some people that need my help, and I can't help them because I haven't been smart. And if you do that, you probably killed them as well, so everybody hates you. Yeah. So there's just something incredibly smart and it's got this weird depth that you don't see when you first start playing it.
Yeah.
And then as the hours pass and you level, like the leveling up system is there, it's exactly how you'd expect. You start to notice that all these things have kind of been built on top of each other, and there's so much to kind of take away from it that for I think it's $17 or whatever it is on the PSN is really impressive. Like it had me. I mean, if the community dies quickly or nobody plays it, you can't play this game by yourself. I mean, you can for a little bit if you want to learn the game, but it lacks the the levels just feel a lot more fun when you're playing with other Helldivers. If it's just you on this big planet, it soon starts to become a bit like, well, I'm not really having the best time. It's not designed to be played that way either. It's definitely designed to get other people into your game. And it's just, that's my surprise in 2015.
Miller tried to show this to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you came at a bad time.
Showed me, and he landed on this planet, wherever it was, and he threw a grenade onto himself and blew up.
That's true. I did find the controls very finicky when I first started playing.
Top-down Destiny?
Yes, it is that. Spot on. 100%. You know what? There you go. Move on. Top-down Destiny. 8 out of 10.
That's what it sounds like.
It's exactly like that. And that's actually... I should have mentioned that. That is... Yeah, you can customize your character. You can all do that kind of stuff. And you can level... So yes, that's what it is. And you've got weapons. I mean, it does have... Apparently, this is a real word. Now, this just goes to show that I'm not an educated man. I thought I was, but we all drop the ball every now and then. Apparently, stratagems or something is a real word. I've never heard of this word. Even though I studied English.
Are they the crystals in that Final Fantasy game?
Yeah, exactly. This is a spiritual segue. So what that basically is that is your... these are things you can call in using these incredibly over-the-top button combinations. It's like trying to put a fucking cheat code in on the Master System. Yeah. Up, down, left, right, down, up. And you're like, bloody hell. But that, so you can summon turrets, or... If somebody does get killed, you can bring them back to life by putting one of these in. Yeah. What else is there? Ammunition, all kinds of stuff that you can bring into the fray. But
you sure you're not actually cheating?
No, it's part of the game. It's like putting in a cheat though. They're so long. Some of them. It's the same way when you have an objective that is, I don't know, activate this console. It's the same thing. You've got to put about 8 different button combinations. But you soon realise it's because Helldivers wants to make... it's incredibly hard, but B, it wants to make you feel on edge all the time. Yeah. And that's why these things are so long. So if we're playing, Jim, and you get taken out, I want to get you back in the game because it's so damn hard that just together we're doing a better job than, I can do by myself. But the code to put in to bring you back to life, I mean, that's actually a little easier than some of them. But it requires you need some time. You cannot do it when you're getting closed down because you will get killed.
Yeah.
So it's this constant, that's why the cooperative thing works so well, because you need everybody else around you.
Yeah.
If you don't help them, you're not helping yourself. So the whole time you're just like, doing 100 things at once, you feel under pressure. So when you do get a mission done, there's this genuine sense of relief. And there's always a timed countdown before the shuttle gets to you. That's always when the enemies will converge on you and stuff. And it's frantic, it's over the top, it's crazy. I really like it. I'm a big fan of Helldivers.
Are there always 4 players on screen, or can you do it just by yourself?
No, I played the first couple of hours by myself just because I wanted to see.
But do you do it with AI, or do you literally go alone?
No, literally just you. And it is incredibly hard. Because I was playing the game at first, like I'm just going to, because the thing, you can kind of stealth it a little bit in the sense that if an enemy sees you and you kill it as soon as possible, it won't alert its mates. Mm-hmm. I was really bad at just aiming and missing them. And so I was getting overrun by these enemies and I would just kind of splurge all my bullets. But then you do start to realise, it was exciting. It's
gone everywhere.
It's in your face. Soon, but it's really good at teaching you that is not the way to do it. So even if you've got your big off machine gun, you do start kind of trying to kill things with just one bullet rather than kind of automatic fire.
How's it like Ghostbusters, though, Miller? That's what you told
me.
It
is like Ghostbusters because picture this scene, right? Ghostbusters in the future. You're on this planet. The shuttle is counting down. You've got 45 seconds to go. You can hear the footsteps of enemies at the gates. You're scared. You're terrified.
Is this World War II, Miller? What's going on?
I fucking love World War II. All 4 people.
Really?
Yeah, I love. You don't know about that? Oh yeah, I got about loads of books on it. Anyway, you've got 4 guys all lined up. And
they all have pictures though, and they all feature zombies.
Yeah, so of course, that's what you do, right? And then because you all know where the enemies are coming from, it is like when they charge up their proton packs, because one by one, because when you sort of aim, a little laser comes out of your gun. Everyone gets their lasers out and they're all facing the same way. So this is a bit like Ghostbusters, the futuristic video game. It's probably only I will think that, but it did feel like that. The cooperative in the sense that you had this visual imagery that greeted me. It's really good. Honestly, it's really, 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 really good.
I would like to give it a go, but it does feel like one that will be on PS Plus in about a year's time.
I think it's worth.
Yeah, but that'll extend the community's life, though, won't it? So that'd be quite good.
I'd definitely pick this up, and I hope and I also hope that it does come out on PS Plus, because I say this game is only going to succeed if it's fine playing with your mates, but if you just want to jump into a game, it's only going to do what it wants to do if it has a huge community. I mean, you can always find a game, and also the whole point of it is
like Drive Club.
Yeah, the whole point of it is to fight this war using this community influence you're supposed to build up. So if no one is building it up, then the war is never going to evolve. It's never going to go anywhere. So eventually going to be like, this is all a waste of time.
It'll do well enough for that, won't it?
I like to think so. I like the idea.
People have been looking forward to this.
I can see why. I can see why.
Yeah,
I think
it does look like PS Plus fodder.
Is it part of this?
That's not a bad
this
thing.
promotion thing that's going on.
You can save some money on it. Or
Break,
something.
was it? Is that what they're calling it?
What is the promotion? It's just 10% off.
Yeah,
PS
you can
Plus.
save some cash.
Is that it? Or is there more?
How much is it,
Is
man?
that over here though?
I think it's
Dunno.
$20.
Did they announce it for you?
Dunno.
I think so.
I don't know.
So probably $14.99.
Yeah.
There, I think I did look. I can't remember.
I am tempted.
I think
I'm tempted as well.
I think if I knew, I'd buy it anyway now, because even when there was hardly anybody on the servers, I still managed to find a game. But if I definitely knew I had friends to play it with, or there was going to be people all the time, I think $14.99 or thereabouts would be more than fair. And it looks really nice as well. It's the small things that you pick up as you're playing, and even the physics of the cape, like these things that don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. But it's nice that they've put in there. I mean, I think it's an excellent game.
But you love capes, don't you?
I do, of course I love capes. Batman's got a cape. But it's got the Miller seal of quality, the seal of approval.
I wish they still
did
did trials like they used to do on 360 arcade games.
I miss demos in general, to be honest. Bring them back.
It's because they've learned they can monetize it now, haven't
that's
they?
true. Smart motherfuckers.
Well, saying that, they used to monetize demos when I was a kid, just having them on a magazine.
Exactly. I said this the other day. I think it may have been on the podcast. I'd pay £1 for a demo. I paid £2 for a demo.
Yeah.
You let me play the first hour of a game, I'd probably pay up to £5.
Yeah.
Bit silly, really. But if I'm bored on a Sunday, I can think kind of interested in Dying Light, $4.99 to play. Probably do it, to be honest. Not all the time, but every now and then. So there
Just
you go.
rent it.
Are you ready for the hate, Miller? That's going to bring all
You know
the hate.
what? If you got any hate in your body or in your brain, it's okay. Let it out. It doesn't matter. All that matters is living the dream.
Just stick it on Reddit and keep it out of our comments, because I'm sick of deleting them.
I just like happy people.
I do just want to say as well that Dave and I played Roundabout, and it was the
Yeah,
greatest. I mean,
that video
we
is
did play
incredible.
Just,
That
just
video,
go watch the video
it
if you
is
want
12
more. but-
minutes of Simon Miller losing it.
Yeah,
It's great.
laughing. For the record, I'm breaking my own rules here. Everyone said, "Oh, Millie, you're so negative." No, I'm not. Fucking found that well funny.
Hey, I didn't understand that comment. You sort of-
I don't care.
I didn't know whether it was a joke.
It doesn't matter. Like if it's all good. Everything is good. Life is happy.
But yeah, people pointed out. I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's like that. Is it Kuru game?
I told you this about 2 months ago, Dave.
Did you?
What is
Yes.
it?
I don't know what.
Because I remember people going on about Kuru.
It's like a GBA game where you
Yeah.
have this stick and
and
to
you
go
have to
through
spin it.
like levels.
It's
like,
basically Roundabout.
But did it have
2D.
FMV?
no.
No.
Not interested then.
No. I mean, it is stuff like that makes that game, doesn't it? That's what makes it stand
Well,
out.
it does have a lot of character.
Yeah.
You can't argue that. Like,
So it's amazing. That FMV was like deliberately terrible, and it worked. And like it just reminded me of what's that? What was that game with the motorbike? And that was all FMV as well.
The motorbike.
motorbike on
Road
what
Rash.
console?
You know what?
Which console was it on?
It was on Xbox One.
Oh, Loco Cycle.
Local Cycle.
Oh,
yeah.
no,
the
that
FMV
was-
from that was like of a similar standard, but they were trying to be serious.
That game is. I remember they had the Xbox One in. There was
Yeah.
like a feeling in the office of
Oh
excitement.
yeah, it was exciting, wasn't it?
And then we played Loco Cycle and went,
games we
screw
had.
the new generation.
Didn't you have Loco Cycle and Zoo Tycoon as our two games?
I actually
think
thought
they're
Zoo
the first
Tycoon
ones.
was quite funny, but
I
the
quite
Loco
like Zoo
Cycle,
Tycoon.
yeah, Loco Cycle was just. I mean, it felt unfinished, and it was so boring.
It was terrible.
That's such a
Made
weird.
by
remember-
people who'd made some really good games before that.
It's
as
made
well.
by the guy, the puppet game, the cowboy puppet game, which was fantastic. And I
Twisted Pixel.
Pixel.
yeah, but what's the name of the cowboy puppet game?
No.
Gunslinger. That
No.
is, it is the Gunslinger.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
The Mall,
the
Explosion Man.
Explosion Man.
Explosion
These are
Man,
good
The Mall.
games.
These
Yeah.
are really good games.
Don't know what
This was their
happened there.
first really bad game.
Well, I guess it happens.
I remember
They
you
all
asked
drop
me
the
to
ball.
see at E3 last year, and you were like, right, the appointment is at this time.
They're like-
Just go to the booth and talk to them, and you'll get to see it,
Whoops.
right? I went there. No one was playing it. I said, I've got an appointment to see Loco. So like, yeah, just play it. I was like, all right.
There you go.
Played it about 30 seconds. Like, I can't do this.
Good
This-
strategizing, man.
this is bad. This is bad.
The Miller
But
strategy.
yeah, Roundabout was a surprise.
Oh, it's wonderful. I think.
Well, I knew people had been talking about it because it come out on PC and it seemed to get quite good reviews. So yeah, I wanted to give it a go, and yeah, I was.
Well, it's the game that keeps on surprising you, isn't it? Because it starts off and you're laughing because it's so silly and stupid, but then after, even after 20 minutes, you're like, oh, I'm getting the hang of it now. I kind of understand there is a level of skill here.
But I don't know how long it will last, how long it will keep that appeal. Because
I still don't think it's worth $15 or whatever it was. That seems very. I think like £5 or something would be
after
good.
a couple of hours, you've got used to how it works and all that, and you start to think, well, that appeal now is starting to drift a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
I wouldn't pay for 10 hours, but I think I'm glad I know it exists. I will definitely download it, so I have it there just in case I need my roundabout fill. So yeah, it was a pleasant surprise for a Monday.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dave, you've been playing Blue Estate as well. You want to talk to us about that?
Not really.
You mentioned it. You said it was terrible and you wanted to talk about it.
What's
Well-
this?
Blue
we
Estate.
should cover this as well, Miller.
I don't know what this is. I don't know anything anymore.
Right. So do you remember
Or
the
ever.
concept screenshots for Red Steel, where it looked quite pretty?
I was excited about Red Steel.
That's this game. So it's a light gun game.
Oh no.
Yeah, on rails light gun game.
Is it made by Reef Entertainment?
No.
Oh.
But that's the thing, like you had your little fix of that with
Oh, I loved
Rambo,
it.
and I didn't play it, and I think I'm getting my fix. It's quite fun to go back to a light gun game now after so long, even though it is not very good.
And there's no light gun.
There is no light gun.
It's like Rambo. No light gun.
No, you just point,
So it's like
point the rest-
Operation
crosshair.
Wolf
Yeah.
on the Master System.
The tone it is bad in the sense that the way that it portrays women is bad. The tone of the so there's a lot of North Korea references, and one of the bosses I think is called Kim Bong, and it's this little fat fella in a bra. I don't know why,
I'm gonna hack their emails.
but it's mad, and I don't quite understand.
How long has it been out for? Is it new?
It's been on PS4 for a while,
Yeah.
but it's only just come out on Xbox One.
Okay.
It was slightly cheap. It was like £8 or something.
And it has this weird mechanic where one of the I think you play two characters. I've only played with one of them so far. But he has long hair, and every now and then his hair flops down and covers the screen, and you have to flick up to pull back his hair so you can see what's going on. It's like, why is that a thing? Why does
That's
that
like
exist?
the thing in Metro when you got to wipe off the water from your helmet, but a lot weirder.
And every time he's like, I love my hair, but It really gets in the way and stuff like that. It's like, what? I don't understand. Why is this even a thing?
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Maybe we've got to play that one.
And the levels go on far too long.
That sounds like the kind of game Miller would want to play in VR. Get the full experience of the head.
Are you coming at my bald head?
It's just, it would give you a new experience.
You full heads. You don't understand. One day you'll understand.
But it's a stupid light gun game that I'm kind of, even though I recognise it has its issues, I kind of am having fun with it as well.
I get it.
And
Rambo, best game of last year.
like, it's very badly rated. I think IGN gave it a 3. Like,
Yeah, but IGN's shit on Rambo as well. They don't know what they're talking about.
yeah.
Sometimes games don't have to be super polished experiences to be fun. They can just be a bit silly. You laugh at them. You think, you know what? This is all right. No one's never going to be able to explain that.
Don't know if anyone even heard that.
No, they won't have
listening
done.
to it.
Never going to be able to be explained. Just
Dave-
a weird moment in the Video Gamer podcast.
But Blue Estate is not the only game I've been playing. Neither is Roundabout.
Yeah.
I've been playing a bit of Rayman Legends now that it's on Games with Gold.
Have
And
you?
that's well worth playing.
It's so good, isn't it? I didn't
Really
want to
good.
like it, but it's just too good.
Yeah.
It's such a good platformer.
Yeah, most of my time though, I've been binging on House of Cards, which I'm not going to talk about because no one's watched it. In
The
here.
new
And
series.
the new series.
I've only ever watched the first episode of that, and I really want to get into
the first episode of the first season.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you see nothing yet.
What are we on? What season? I don't watch
Season
it at all.
3 now.
Three?
Three.
Three.
Jeez, okay.
it. Every time I sit down to watch it, I fall asleep for 12 hours.
I think it's my Game of Thrones. Do you know what I mean?
Really?
Everyone bangs
Is it
on about
that-
Game of Thrones.
Is it good or is it trashy good?
It's not trashy at all, Nat. What do you mean trashy?
Oh,
like-
no, you see, you just see the way it's shot.
It's
and
got Call
like-
of Duty's
But
Kevin
is it
Spacey.
proper,
So
in it.
is it
much,
proper
like-
good like True Detective good? Or is it
I
just
haven't
good?
seen True Detective. It's really well shot. It's really well acted. It's really well written. Problem with this series is it doesn't have the same element of surprise that the previous ones have. You can kind of see stuff coming, but it's still really good.
It's quite good. Let's say based on the first episode, it felt like a really kind of prestige drama. It felt like
It's like The West Wing, but with Kevin Spacey.
It felt like the political
call it that.
equivalent.
Is
of,
it as good as The West Wing, Dave?
I've never seen The West Wing.
You haven't seen any good programs, Dave. That's the problem.
It felt.
I've spilt my drink everywhere.
Dave's spilling Ribena everywhere.
The cup's so big as well.
It is
It's 'cause
really
you-
big,
How can
isn't
you
it?
get it out
Spilling
of
it
there?
everywhere because you're so excited.
I haven't seen House of Cards or The West Wing.
I
so
sort of
I feel like
watch
they're
House of
lost.
Cards.
By the way, this does count as game discussion because for a long time Netflix was the only thing worth downloading on PS4.
I tell you, if Telltale do a House of Cards game, it could be so good.
I think it'll happen. I
That's
don't know
prob-
why. I'm based on nothing. That my
That's
gut
probably
feeling
going to
was-
I don't think
happen
it'll happen,
because it's a TV show and Telltale are a thing. That's why.
Yeah.
You do
I've
think
also-
it'll happen?
I think it'll happen.
Well, yeah, but Lionsgate just invested in, didn't it? So I imagine their TV priorities are elsewhere now.
That's a very good point.
Mad Men, Hunger
Alright.
Games,
It's all right. Interesting.
Twilight.
Lost me.
Mad Men.
I've also been playing the original Zelda on the Nintendo Entertainment System Game Boy Advance. I just
Yes.
wanted to throw that in there because that game is still fantastic.
And I've been playing a bit of Luigi's Mansion 2.
Oh yeah, I was going to start
On the
it.
new 3DS, because I got a new 3DS XL. So it was my birthday, and I was lucky enough to get one.
Do you like it?
What, the console or the
Yeah,
game?
it's just the console again, but bigger, isn't it? Like it's not.
You know what? Because we had a standard new 3DS in the office for a while,
Yeah.
and I thought the screen quality was really nice on it. And
Yeah.
I thought it felt really nice. And when I got my XL, because I didn't really use an old XL, I always used a standard 3DS.
Yeah.
And I was worried that the image on the bigger screens, would, now that I've seen it on the standard new one, it's so confusing.
No,
isn't
I'm
it?
with you, I know what you mean.
The titles of these things are ridiculous. It'd just be a little bit too overblown, the screen
Yeah,
size.
yeah.
And I was a bit unsure. But now that I've actually played a proper game on it, rather than just looking at the menus for a while, no, really nice, really nice.
Yeah.
Although I don't know how Nintendo expects anyone to replace the SD cards on those things because it is ridiculous.
What do you mean?
You have to unscrew the back. You have to
What?
Yeah, it's nonsense. I don't know.
Oh, Nintendo, please.
It's not.
Bear in
Dave,
mind-
Dave claims that it may be true that on the XO it's harder. It's
No,
not.
I didn't say it was harder. I said I found it hard. What I didn't
It
realise.
should just be a push slot.
It should be, but it's not. So you have to, and I don't know how they expect kids to do it.
Well, they don't.
Kids
They
play.
don't expect kids to do it. They expect a parent to do it.
I know, but
But why have they done that to begin with? No other
This is
machine
why
on the
the
planet
N-Gauge
does it.
died.
I could be a parent. I'm 29 years old
I'm not
now. Can you
learning from
believe it?
history.
I could be a parent. I still can't do it, Tom. I was there unscrewing. I was waiting for the screw to pop out, and it was
Yeah,
just
it doesn't
clicking.
pop out. It doesn't
Oh,
pop
I read. Oh, it doesn't pop out. The only screw in the world that doesn't screw out when you unscrew
So
it.
they don't
Nintendo.
lose the screws, Dave.
Anyway, unscrew it a certain amount, right? Good. And then it's like, right, you then get your
You have to use the
stylus and you
stylus as a
should prise it
crowbar.
off on the side. I'm there going, all right, why is it not coming off? It's digging into all the plastic on the side. Well, there's brand new 3DS. I'm digging in the plastic, ruining it. Oh, right, I'm going to give up in a minute. And I thought, what if I slide the back down while prising it up? Suddenly it popped off. I'm like, that's ridiculous. It doesn't tell me to
Just throwing
slide
it on the floor.
Yeah.
Teach it a lesson.
So I did it, but
Do you like Luigi Mansion 2? Because we had this conversation yesterday. I really want
Yes.
to play it now.
It's really good, Luigi's Mansion 2.
our conversation when we
Smashing.
go back and play it.
Yeah.
Because I played about 2 hours of it on the old 3DS, and I
Yeah.
thought, it's okay, but it's not as good as the first one.
Yeah.
And yeah, I put a couple of hours into it last night, and I really enjoyed it.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I kind of regret. I sold my copy.
You can buy it again.
I know, but it's buying games again feels a bit weird to me.
Why?
Because
Cheap, innit?
I've made that choice. But I sold it
So black and
to
white.
probably. I think I bought instead a copy of Advanced Warfare, which is all right.
What's
but
Advanced Warfare's good?
I kind of wish I still had my Luigi's Mansion 2.
I think they're both
But,
good games. I don't think you've
it
lost
is
out
good.
there.
It's a very good game.
I
Like,
got lost for ages. I was trying to find. I got to a bit where you have to suck up these little blue balls, and I got lost trying to find the last area where these blue
Shit.
balls were.
That happens.
I can't believe I said
That's all right. You got lost looking for your blue balls.
sucking up
Happens,
blue
man.
balls. I am looking forward though to playing Fire Emblem Awakening.
Oh, it's really good.
I've never played a Fire Emblem game.
That's
and,
a smashing game.
And last
Don't
night
fall in love with your characters.
I realised it was a bit like Advance Wars, which I love.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
is it not
And
made by the same people?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I didn't realise this,
Yeah.
and now I'm very excited because Advance Wars is one of the best
I've
games
got
ever.
a copy of Zelda. What was the 2D one? The overhead one.
Twilight Princess.
Link Between Worlds.
Link Between Worlds.
What am I talking
I got
about? I
that
don't know
for
why
Christmas.
You haven't played
I got it
it?
for Christmas. The Christmas
my
before
gosh.
last, and it's on my shelf still sealed. And I keep thinking I would need to play that game.
It is genuinely, in my opinion, one of the best games of modern times. And I put my big boy voice on there because it's
What
important.
of old times and modern times?
Well, you know, it's this generation's link to the past, basically.
It's a Link Between Worlds.
It's a link between worlds. I honestly think it's the strongest 10 I've ever given a video game.
Wow.
I never felt more confident or
Is
secure.
it the best Zelda game?
No, Ocarina of Time still wins, but I was 14 years old. That's the big reason why it's so good. I was at the perfect age to experience all that and just be swept away. But it's probably the best game of my adult life, Link Between Worlds, yeah.
Better than Dragon Age?
Yeah, probably. Close, but probably.
Talking of you as a child, I was thinking about this on the way in.
I literally have no idea what this could be.
Not about you as a child,
okay, right.
but about us as children.
All right,
Because
that
we
makes
did a
me feel
video
better.
yesterday, I believe it might be for Patreon people, I'm not sure, where I went back and I played a load of old Mega Drive games
Yes.
using our
That
new
is
little
this week's
funky console.
exclusive Patreon video.
Yeah. And it really took me back to when I was a kid. And they were like the big games back then, but they were games for all ages. You know, Sonic, suitable for everyone.
Yeah.
And these days, it feels like, besides the Nintendo games, all of the major, huge releases, Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, you name it, whatever, they're all adult games.
Yeah.
And can you imagine being in the playground these days where all your kids, all your friends,
That's the thing.
yeah, but
It is
they shouldn't.
No.
But and if you've got a parent, if your parents or your guardians believe in that sort of structure, believe in the age ratings and guidance and things like that.
Yeah.
All of these huge mega games, I guess you'd kind of be like, well, I can't play them.
Do you know why I think that is?
And I feel like it's shifted since we were kids.
I think it's because obviously it works with Nintendo because they come from that old school background, because when Sega were doing it as well, that was kind of the thing. And obviously stuff like demographics were important. They've always been important. But then, I hate using this phrase, but it's true, games were still kind of finding their way. They were still in their infancy. Whereas now, two massive companies that were massive companies before video games have come along and stamped on it, and they're just taking all their marketing stuff. Just like, who do we want? We want 18 to 34-year-olds. What do they like? They like shooting people in the face. Done. And that's where they make their money. They did literally come along and adult the game industry in terms of ratings and maturity and stuff. And that's why you don't get... Yeah, and even when they do try, I mean, this is you could argue this either way, but, Sony did try and do that with the PlayStation 4 with Knack, but it didn't have that magic that those games had back. Well, I didn't think so personally anyway. If you like Knack, then that's fine. I think that's the problem. They marketed it. That's what happened. It got to the point where video games are making so much money, is that how do we make more?
Yeah. And you look at what's on Xbox and PlayStation,
It's hard to.
there's no middle ground. It doesn't feel like, if you're a 13 or 14-year-old, what massive games
I
are there
think
for you?
13 or
They're all
14.
Minecraft.
I think it's
I know,
13 or
but-
14.
Oh, it's bad. I know what you mean.
I think
yeah.
it's bigger. The bigger issue is if you're like an 8-year-old or that kind of age, or like younger.
I guess that's
kids-
kind of Skylanders
kids-
and
I
that
know,
sort
but
of
you
Toys
think
to
about
Life
Most,
age, right?
most
Actually,
games, they're not. Like, there's a very small number that are good ones that are actually made for that age group. Like, whatever, I don't know why, but I keep getting asked by various different people what they should get for their kids to play. And like, should I get them an Xbox One or a PS4? And you're like, well, neither of those really, because there's nothing really on it for that age group.
3DS.
That's the thing. It felt like as we were growing up, we're all a similar sort of age. You know, there's only a few years between us, really. As we were growing up, you know, we had games like Sonic and Mario, and then it went on to Crash Bandicoot. And it always felt like games were kind of almost evolving with us at our sort of age level.
I think that's the other thing as well. You hit the nail on the head.
And now we've hit that age where we are over 18, obviously, and there are all these adult games, but it feels like they've all been left behind. Those younger games have kind of almost disappeared.
I also think it's technical as well, because like the reason Mario and Sonic were so good, aside from the good characters and stuff, was the core gameplay was awesome. It doesn't matter if you're 5-year-old or 55. If you like that kind of stuff, you can appreciate what it's trying to do. Whereas now it's more about what does it look like, how gritty is it, how mature is it, and all these other things that come into it. And companies, you know, now you want to make a product for a kid, you make Skylanders. This is for you. It's not like this all-encompassing, you know, we're going to focus on what makes a game good. And people do that, but it is more like, it's more demographics. We want to make a kid's game, Skylanders, Disney Infinity, Lego. You know, I mean, the Lego games kind of balance out a little bit, but I don't really like the Lego games.
I think there's a huge market for someone to go in there into that space and
Well,
make.
it's Nintendo, isn't it?
But I don't think kids. I mean, obviously, there's going to be a portion of kids that want a Wii U and all that, but really, they want what's the cool thing, which at the moment is a PS4 and Xbox One, and there's nothing really that's that big for that age group.
They've got Rare, who basically made that kind of game for a long time.
Yeah,
and
Banjo-Kazooie.
They haven't done anything with it.
But you look at the success of like.
But you know, Rare's the old Rare now.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've heard that.
It's the old Rare.
I think I said this at the time when it came out, but Plants vs Zombies: Garden Warfare, I think was rated like 7 or 12 rated. It was one of those. And when I played it, all I ever heard was kids playing it, and it stuck around in the charts for ages. And I think that was a way of parents going, this is the kind of game that you like, and it's suitable for your age. And parents just bought it for the kids because it fell into that category. And I think Destiny as well. Is that a 16?
I think probably,
Yeah,
It's
it is.
But in America, I think it's a T for teen, which is 13, I think.
Yeah.
And I think one of the reasons I think that game has sold so incredibly well is because it's, you know, available to that age group as well. And
I totally agree.
you go on Destiny, there's a lot
nothing-
of kids that love Destiny.
Destiny,
A lot
there's
of kids.
nothing really gory about it or anything, really. Is
No.
it?
No, it's very matter of
Starship
fact.
Troopers, basically. It's not. It's not no
Starship
worse than that.
Troopers is like super violent.
Yeah, it's well violent.
Yeah, but that film isn't really.
Did your kids see Starship Troopers?
It's super violent. Gets
I know.
spiked.
Yeah,
and
I know what you
Sucky
mean.
bit.
I know what you mean.
know what I mean.
I'm with you.
I had to get it bambified, that film. Like a Coronation Street in there.
More about that later. Yeah, I've been trying to get my 8-year-old to play GTA 5 for ages, and she's not interested. Not even kidding.
Daddy, what's this red stuff?
My kids are obsessed with Skylanders and Minecraft.
There you go.
And they play lots of the PS Plus games, actually. They like the Swapper. They like SteamWorld Dig. They love that. Fucking, like...
That's your wife got me into it, Jim.
Yeah. Rachel and the kids, they've sat and completed that dozens of times now.
I like it, you know. I'd be up for a game that kind of does that kind of stuff.
Yeah. But
Just bring back Crash Bandicoot. Basically, the conversation we're having is bring back Crash Bandicoot.
Who owns it now? Activision still got it?
Activision.
Still got it. They ain't coming back.
Just sort something out with Sony.
He'll be in
Get
Skylanders.
Naughty Dog to have another go.
get Crash Bandicoot and Skylanders. It's a great idea.
He'll be in Skylanders. Within 2 years. Crash Bandicoot. There you go.
Wasn't there?
I wonder what other titles
And the little
Skylander
figurine
games there
won't,
could
won't
be.
come as standard, and it'll be 20 quid.
I'm
on its
sure.
own.
I'm sure lots of people are thinking
sure
about
there's
doing
lots of people thinking
Skylanders
about
games.
Skylanders.
I mean,
By the way,
it's pretty-
Skylanders is great. I played it.
See, no one believes me, do they, Jim?
Which
People,
version have you got? Which one?
I've got the one Dave recommended.
Swap Force.
That's
Swap
the best
Force.
one, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, my kids were like, "You need to play this. You need to play this," and I was like, "No, I don't want to play it because I'm old and bitter." And I played it, and it was good.
See,
I really enjoyed it. It was like
people need to listen to me when I say Skylanders is good. New one, not so much.
Activision gets a lot of heat, but they know what they're doing. They're doing pretty well.
Every year,
like,
Skylanders, Call of Duty, and they're really good every year.
Crappy Spider-Man
it's like
game.
Diablo crossed with like I don't know. It's like Fable,
It's
but
Diablo
really
for kids.
kiddie. Yeah. It's good. It's all right. Anyway, we need to move on now.
Why?
Because we do, Dave.
I'd rather not.
Jeez.
We've just brought up Skylanders, and let's just
Dave,
talk about
I'm in
Skylanders.
charge. So,
love
we've got a competition winner to announce.
Wow, really?
Yes, we do.
Is
yeah.
it, Dave?
You will
same
see
joke.
if you're watching and if you're listening on YouTube, you will see his competition entry in the.
Oh, so it's
Look
the
at
bloke
that.
that's
Stream.
won.
that we put on.
wonderful. Which one
Yeah.
is it? I don't know which one.
It's the user Fuzzy Demon, who did 2 entries.
Is that allowed?
Yes, it's
That sounds like it's a
Yeah,
breach
so-
of the competition
But to
rules.
be honest, though, his second entry was very, very late in the running, and I'd already decided he'd won ages ago. Because he did.
more
Without even
Yeah, I haven't seen all the entries.
if you chose to wait until the closing date.
We had lots of really, really, really good entries, to be fair. But Fuzzy Demon was one of the first, and he smashed it.
I can't even remember.
What did he do?
So the
competition
theme was crossovers.
Yep.
So, crossover to game franchises, and you can do it as box art, as a video, as a fanfic, whatever you want.
Yeah.
And he did box art for Mario 1886.
That one? That was amazing, yeah.
And
That
it
was
is
good.
absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Very, very convincing work. And he also did his second one, which he's got the runner-up as well, was
What?
Ultimate Warrior Shadow of Mordor.
That was quite good, though. I did see that.
That was brilliant.
Wait, what? I haven't seen this.
you wanna see it,
Why didn't no
Miller?
one show this to me?
You want to see it, Miller? It's brilliant.
No,
What
I'm
about
mad.
Rogue Warrior Shadow of Mordor?
Yeah.
That'd have been better.
Based on your
Oh, wait, I don't
your
like that.
classic complaint after E3 that Shadow of Mordor was just like 15 minutes of
Why didn't no one show
Titantrons.
this to me? Oh, I got to see it now. I'm excited.
So it's really good. There is no prize for the runner-up, by the way, so it's not corrupt. But yeah, Fuzzy Demon, fantastic.
Well done.
Good work,
You
my
have
friend.
won a
You
game
have done
of
it.
your choice up to the value of £50 from Shop 2.
Yeah.
What games are out? Don't get Scream Ride.
I would get.
Get the order.
Dave,
I get the order. You know, I think everyone needs
Dave,
to play it.
Yeah.
I'm in charge of this fucking podcast, right? Settle down.
What would you get then, Jim?
I've no idea.
Skylanders.
I don't know.
I have no clue.
I don't know. Right, questions. We've got a few questions today. MK Knight asks, how long do you think the previous generation will last? Is my 360 already obsolete? Yes.
I think this is the last year. This is, I think, as of next
This
year.
is the twilight years
E3
now.
this year, they announced all these big games, and they're all Xbox One, PS4 only, and Xbox 360 and PS3
Well, I was
slowly
talking to Dave
die.
about like whether or not we think like Star Wars Battlefront will be cross-gen.
No,
I don't think it is.
no, I don't think it is. It
Because
can't be.
Because Battlefield so far have been, haven't they?
I think anything that is coming out at the end of the year that you consider a
Tomb
AAA
Raiders,
game,
Tomb Raiders cross-gen.
Yep. Tomb Raider is
that's
well
already been
cross-gen.
announced, though.
Why
terrible
is it
episode.
incidentally that Microsoft are the ones who keep doing that cross-gen?
Yeah, it's odd,
shit?
isn't
Xbox
it?
makes the money.
Yeah, Xbox 3, because there's so many Xbox 360s out there.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, they just think.
Because Sony are just being like, fuck it, this is PS4 only.
Yeah, but there's so many Xbox 360s.
Like, upgrade or
Microsoft
get
just-
out.
Yeah, that's what I think it is.
I
But
like that attitude.
I think that Battlefield will be Xbox One, PS4.
Yeah,
I don't think it would
I
be.
think it might be as well.
Yeah.
but-
That's what they've only announced it for that. And PC.
I
obviously.
think that to make that what people want it to be, you have to take advantage of the grunt, and crossover games do take something away from
It is getting to the point now where there's some severe, like, Dragon Age Inquisition is sort of seen it running on last
Yeah.
gen, and it is terrible.
And
It is
Mordor.
awful.
Mordor on
Mordor
PS3.
as well. They had to cut down the Nemesis system.
I've
seen
there's no
dog shit that
point
runs at a
anymore.
faster frame rate.
Yeah,
I also think that Inquisition, the next gen versions, I know it's not the next gen, but you know what I mean, suffered because of the whole cross gen thing. I think it looks amazing. I think it could look better. I'm not. That's really, really picky. But there are some.
I'm really excited for that game.
Oh, it's
you
fu-
said it was one of. I think you might have used the words. It's the best looking game on PS4 and Xbox One at the preview stage.
This is what I mean. It did not. Let me rephrase this. It still looks incredible. I think it's a genuinely amazing looking
Sorry,
game.
I didn't mean to call you out there.
No, but you're
I wasn't
right.
being the
no,
internet.
no, that was good. You're right because it didn't. When I saw it at E3 last year, it was obviously not as good as that. You could tell that, something had changed. And that's my point. Was that because it was on everything else? I don't know, but there was a definite downgrading of
The thing is, it's had a good run, the 360 and the PS3.
How old is it this year? 10 years?
10 years, 2005.
It's 10 years old now.
Wow.
Crazy.
You had your good innings. Like,
That's why I
but
think in
the dream
November,
is dead.
that's why
You're
November
gonna
is
have to
dead.
upgrade next year.
Dream-eyed dead. Do you remember the pods coming out, Tom? PGR 3, Call of Duty 2. Oh, yeah. Go and play them in your local game.
It's up there with my favourite console launch, Xbox 360.
It's a great launch.
Yeah.
Little Samsung TV. Remember the Samsung
Yeah.
partnership?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I bought that TV, 32-inch. Died a few
They
years
got
later.
you. They got you.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
King Kong, Dave.
King Kong was a good game.
Was.
I will not have
Launch
anyone
game.
say...
Oh, yeah,
Good launch
7 out of
game.
10.
Yeah, good launch game.
Was
Hey,
Solid 7, wasn't it?
360, one of the best launches ever.
Yep, it was perfect.
So did
Yeah, it
Dreamcast.
Yeah.
Well, is
And
King
Xbox.
Kong a better game than the Order 1886?
Yes.
Yes.
So the order has become a fascinating case
Can we
study in
stream
games.
King Kong?
It really has. It really has.
And that's worked wonderfully for it.
It is amazing.
It's
It is
become a
amazing.
game you have to have an
People
opinion
are
on.
talking about it.
Yep.
People are still talking about it.
What,
And
King
that's
Kong?
exactly- No.
Oh.
Only we're talking about King Kong because we're idiots.
No, we're not
the,
idiots.
The Order 1886 people are still talking about
Honestly,
it.
if you've never played King Kong,
You should
go,
play it.
Go
It's
to
really
the game
good.
and
People
buy
will
it.
be referencing the Order 1886, as you say,
Even-
Miller, as a case study in rambling articles,
Yep.
navel-gazing articles about the state of the industry for decades.
Yep.
So
It's done. It is. People don't like me. Some people don't like me making wrestling references, but it is like John Cena. John Cena has longevity because he's equally loved and equally hated, which means people care. If people care about you, you get this whole
What
new
did
lease of
Triple H
life.
say about John Cena? It doesn't matter what they're shouting, but they're shouting loud.
How do you spell Triple H?
We can have TRIPLE space H or just HHH.
You can have HHH.
Yes, either's fine.
All right.
Trips.
Yeah.
Trips.
Call it that as well.
Does he like that?
I'd probably not.
Oscar Deus asks, if you could make the person sat opposite you play one game, what would you choose for them?
We are perfectly here, no? This is a perfect cut
Yeah.
for that question.
So who's looking at who? We need to explain this.
I
to the
would,
people at
would
home.
make Jim play Helldivers because then we could play it together because that's what I want to play right now.
That's
That sounds good to me.
Such
That
a
sounds-
boring answer.
That's a nice
What do you want me to say?
throwback.
I want
I
Jim
don't
to
know.
play Naked Simulator 9 so we can get closer than ever.
Singles flow up your life for Tom. Can we do that, Tom? And let's play. Singles flow up your life.
Doesn't sound good, does it?
You brought that on yourself,
I'm trying
Tom,
to think
for the
what I'd make
record.
Dave play. Like a bit of virtual snooker, Dave.
Virtuous
Said
snooker.
mine was boring. You want to play
So
virtual
you-
snooker?
So you can sit on the same chair and belt him
Yeah.
every 2 minutes. What would I make you play, Miller? Do you know what? Everyone's expecting me to just say Morrowind, so I'll make you play
Actually,
I'll go
Morrowind.
for
we'll
that.
just play PGR2, Dave. That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Oh, can I play
PGR2?
PGR2 as well?
Yeah. PGR2.
I'd like to play PGR2.
Not 3.
No, not 3, Dave.
Did you like,
is
did you
good,
like
though.
4?
Yeah.
This is deciding the streams for the next month, right?
it's true.
Next week we'll do PGR2, we'll do Morrowind.
Oh, I don't know if I could do hours and hours of PGR2.
We'll do that dating thing that you
10
just
hours
said.
stream.
PGR2.
10 hours of PGR2.
3 watches is us.
We could do 10 hours of Morrowind and get 0.5% into the game.
That's true, yeah.
We could do like that really bad Let's Play thing that people do when they every bit of text that comes on the screen, they just read it out.
Oh, why it's so weird?
Yeah, why
it's
don't they-
annoying as
I don't
fuck.
get it. They put voices on. Very weird. Very weird.
Anyway, Victor, I can't pronounce this guy. I do apologize. Victor says, from what reviewers say, it would seem that linearity is the worst thing ever. I disagree. Well, cheers for that, Victor. And ask you if you agree or not.
I love linear games.
Linearity. There's nothing wrong with linearity.
Exactly. I assume that's something about the order
Got
again.
to be a reference to the order.
But it's
isn't
not.
it?
The order didn't get negative reviews because it was linear.
Exactly.
There's no game. That's the problem.
Uncharted's one of the most linear games ever made.
I
It's
like
a war. Uncharted's
I like to
amazing.
get some games just
There
take
is
my hand
no
and go.
war
come.
on linearity.
No, just come with me for a fun ride. Everyone loves someone saying that to them. No, but I enjoy those games. I think sometimes they're some of the best.
Come
Gears
with
of War's
me for a
not.
fun ride.
Yeah, Scream Ride.
Goodness me.
Exactly. Katie Stubbs asks, if you guys could live in any video game universe for a day, which one would you choose and why?
Green Hill
WWE.
Zone. Obviously.
Right, one at a time. Green Hill Zone. Green Hill Zone.
Yeah. From Sonic. But don't tell me you didn't know that was from Sonic.
Of course I did, but I'm just thinking. But the Green Hill Zone's a shite house.
Quite dangerous, though.
Yeah, everything's so happy.
Yeah, you are going to have to take your time.
There's not going to be
you
any
got-
Wi-Fi, is there? It's quite
Right.
dangerous. You might get turned into a robot.
You wouldn't need Wi-Fi.
And if you lived in
Green Hill
that
Zone.
universe, you would probably be a small animal.
But a lot of money.
Is there?
Yeah, a lot of money in that
No,
place.
rings though. You'd have to set
That's
up some
rings,
sort
though,
of
innit?
Gold, though, man.
Yeah,
You can
do
melt
something
it
like-
down.
Exactly.
Gas for
You'd have
gold.
to set up a business.
There you go. Look, you're monetized in Green Hills.
but
Though.
who
You
you
have to
selling
sell
the gold
chili
to?
dogs or something.
Who are you selling the gold? I've never understood the chili dog thing, by the way. Where did that come from?
Oh,
In
probably-
the Sonic lore, at what point were chili dogs introduced?
What? There's chili
No
dogs?
idea.
In which
What?
game?
I don't know what you're talking
Sonic.
about.
What does it
Sonic.
do? What does a chili dog do?
It's part of the lore. Sonic's favourite food is chili
dogs.
Oh, it'll be the cartoon, won't it?
Where did that come from?
You know
It's gotta be the
that traditional sort of high protein food that athletes like to.
Chili dogs, don't you? Hedgehogs will love them.
No, it's just, it's so bright. It's, the bright blue Sega sky and all the nice little flowers. It's like paradise.
Those weirdly plastic palm trees that don't look right.
Yeah.
I think that world is a lie, and you wouldn't like it.
No.
What did you say, Miller?
WWE. So I can be a WWE wrestler. That's 2 wrestling references. Oh dear. Oh well. Moving on.
What about you, Tom? PGR.
PGR2's got a lot of cities, isn't it? It does.
Hey, we're nothing if not predictable. There ain't nothing wrong with
There's
that.
some good cities as well. Like, good
Everyone knows my answer.
Morrowind? So good. We just answered 2 questions with the same answers.
I was going to say Tamriel.
Okay,
but
yeah, that is better than Morrowind, actually, I agree. Good shout.
Yeah. So, inessential Mr. Tom asks, why is Burns such a cunt? Putting this one to you, Miller.
I don't know.
You know it
I'd love
best.
to know. I've known him for almost 10 years and I still can't figure it
I
out.
used to think it was all an act,
Oh, no.
but it's
No,
not,
it's
is
not.
it?
No. He just is. But in a wonderful way.
Has he ever been to Mothercare?
Burns?
You got to
Yeah.
give him credit for that line, though.
That line was
It was amazing.
very good.
It was Oscar worthy.
What line was this?
Well, he said a game was buggy like
Star
Mothercare.
Trek, the video
That was
game.
pretty good.
And he reviewed it in bullet points. He can be a hero at times.
That was pretty good, yeah.
Buggy like Mothercare.
Michael asks, is there a game everyone on the team loves?
I'm sure there is.
Probably GTA 5, innit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
not that one. No.
All right,
Well, we must
okay.
all love like Super Mario World or something
Nah.
like that, right?
Nah.
You don't love Super Mario
Barely
World?
played it. Barely played it. Didn't have a SNES.
I don't know how to react to that
Neither did
information.
I didn't have a SNES either.
You should
Yeah.
play Super Mario
I will
World.
do, I'm going
It's
to.
incredible.
Well, there must be a game.
Rystar.
No, I've never played
Never really
Rystar
played
either.
Rystar. I think the answer to this is
We've
no.
got- we've
Does
got-
Someone
everyone...
tweeted me, by the way, the other day saying, I can't believe, I'm paraphrasing, sorry if I sound overly aggressive, but they couldn't believe I pronounced it Rystar instead of Ristar.
No,
And
that-
I have a
that's-
confession. As a child, I did pronounce it Ristar. But now I've learnt the
It's not
error
really
of my
a confession.
ways, and it clearly is not pronounced Ristar. It's Rystar.
All right. Cheers, Dave.
That's
right.
That's wonderful, Dave.
It might not be, it might still be Ristar.
There probably is a game everyone on the team loves,
We don't know
but
what
we
it
would
is.
have to sit. We would have
Monkey
to
Ball.
have.
Dark Souls.
I'm asked about Monkey
Yeah.
Ball. Dark.
I'm not really loving Monkey Ball that much.
Mario Galaxy.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, Mario Galaxy.
Jim.
I'd
haven't
agree.
played it.
I'd agree.
There you go,
I've played
done.
it.
Done.
Also, what's the
Galaxy.
hate for Mario Sunshine?
Oh, Mario
Don't
Sunshine's so
understand.
good.
It's great.
Do you know what else is
Everyone's
good?
like, Mario Sunshine wasn't that good.
Star Fox Adventures is good too. And everyone goes, oh, it's so boring. You're boring. Star Fox Adventures is a great game. So good.
Star Fox Avengers.
Adventures.
Adventures.
Star Fox.
That's the one with Iron Man and that.
Yeah, you
There's
play
all
as the
also,
big face.
when Wind Waker HD came out, I remember seeing like, oh, it's the worst Zelda game. Wind Waker is the
said
worst.
that?
I remember seeing that.
Morons.
Wind Waker's the worst one.
That's I tell you about it. If you think that's cool, don't worry about it.
Wind Waker is great. And that's even better.
Oh, it's a
'cause
wonderful
in,
game, yeah.
It's in a higher resolution. That does matter to
we
people.
can all agree on Mario Galaxy, though, right?
Studies have
Yeah.
shown that, Miller, based
know.
on the conversation that we had, before.
Yeah, I know. It's true.
We actually got to the
100%.
bottom of that one. Lastly, Daniel Thompson asks, how often does Simon refer to wrestling on any given workday? Simon communicates in wrestling references.
Even when you think they're not possible.
Yeah.
Look, I just like it. I don't see why that affects anybody.
not a
else.
problem. It's
I
not a
love
problem,
it.
Miller. I
It
love
makes me happy. And again,
When I was growing up, me and my friend used to say that there was a Star Trek metaphor for every situation.
oh yeah,
And it's true because there's so much Star Trek. Every possible human situation has basically been covered in at least one episode of Star Trek. So
Yeah.
you can communicate. And wrestling's a similar thing.
well that's the thing also because whole wrestling vernacular was there to protect the wrestling business from people who weren't in it, which means you can usually put that guy over. Thank you for saying that question. There you go. Don't job out. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to stop. A lot is the answer to that question. Thank you for writing in.
But yeah, the answer is quite a lot.
Should we play Star
And
Fox
we all
Adventures?
love him for it.
Do you want to play Star Fox? I'd love to play Star Fox Adventures.
I've got loads of really old games.
You've got a GameCube.
Do you have a GameCube in this office?
I've got
No.
a GameCube at home that I
I've
can
got a
get.
GameCube.
We've
at
got a
home
Wii,
somewhere.
haven't we? We'll work on that.
Oh, yeah,
That's true. Let's play Star Fox Adventures. Let's do it. Let's go and revisit all
Yes.
these old games that people think are shit, but we think are good. Like Sunshine is one, Adventures is one. There'll be more
Yes.
when we think
For the
about
record, I fucking loved Mario Sunshine.
it. I think it's wonderful. Let's start with that one because
the
that's good.
GameCube, the GameCube was like the first Nintendo console I ever bought.
The GameCube is wonderful.
I ever
like,
owned,
it's
to
just
be honest.
amazing.
It was purple
And-
though. Why was it purple?
I had a black
You
one.
could get loads of colours. I had mine
I
in
know.
white, I think.
I think I had an
thought-
orange one. at
It was
one
a
point.
Yeah.
I thought I'll get a purple one. Can't want to be boring. Get a
But
black
I
one.
love
I
Mario,
was like,
Mario
I don't like it,
Sunshine.
can't get a black one.
Fuck that flood mechanic. I absolutely fucking
I
adored
thought it was awesome. And then
And
when
I
it
only
took it
found
away
out-
from you, it was
yeah.
amazing.
I'm so
I
happy.
only found out later on that everyone hated that.
I
And
know,
was like,
yeah.
Why? I don't understand.
I
Shine
thought
get.
Sunshine to me is on par with a lot of Mario games in terms of how much I
Yeah,
like
it's
it.
really
I think
good.
it's wonderful. Yeah, so good.
All right, we're
So-
doing
Right
it.
up there.
We should definitely do that. There'll be loads if we actually sit back in games that have this bad rap and doesn't really make any sense.
Anyway, that's about all we've got time for.
Why?
You want to carry on?
Oh, more.
Some people will get more because we're fulfilling the terms of what we said we'd do.
Exactly.
Yeah, those people, if you wait till after the intro music, you will get your
Intro?
extra bit.
Outro music.
Outro
Who are
music.
these
Always get
people?
those mixed up. How can you get those mixed
Members
up?
of the Video Gamer Community Club.
Members of the Video Gamer Community Club.
Which is accessible via Patreon.
via
.com
Patreon. That's right.
/
Cheers, Tom. I was losing it
VideoGamer.
there. There will be a link in the description and or everywhere else.
Are we doing more live podcasts?
We will do that again, but we'll have to sort out some technical issues, to be honest, because
There was a bit of nip.
there was a bit of nipple. That wasn't a technical issue. That was just me being an
It's just
idiot.
Jim showing nipple. Standard.
I put the webcam up my top, thinking it would be pitch dark in there.
Yeah,
Nobody's
I'm not-
going to see anything.
I love you, Jim, but thinking I'm going to put this webcam at the top and I'm sure nothing will be shown was a very interesting thought process. It was probably always going to show
Thank
something.
goodness you put it
but
up your top.
I thought these cameras are terrible in low light. It's going to be pitch black. It's just going to be funny seeing it go
No.
up there, nothing happening.
Full on nip.
And I did it, and it was like so brightly lit. Everyone saw it.
Well,
and,
you know, why not?
But everyone loved it.
Exactly.
So I'll probably do it again. Anyway, that is all we've got time for now. Thanks very much for listening. Bye, I guess.
You've been great,
Yeah.
as usual, and I love you all very much.
yeah. Everyone
Again.
say bye.
Oh, bye.
As Burns is getting here, let's talk about Star Fox Adventures.
All right.
I want to talk about it because he's gonna come in and say it's crap anyway. Because Star Fox Adventures was a game made by Rare.
Yeah.
It was originally called Dinosaur Adventures, I believe.
Was it
And-
Dinosaur Planet?
Dinosaur
Something like
Planet. Thank you very much, Dave. And the whole point was you were going to be some random dude. And I actually like the concept, to be honest. I
that? Weren't
remember
you like a little grey fox?
you were. Yeah, it was very. This is why I think it was Miyamoto or someone sat down and went, "What the hell are we doing?"
Let's get information while you carry on
Well,
talking.
it's true. It's
Miller.
kind of like we're segregating our ideas here. And as soon as they put
Stephen.
Stephen Burns is here. As soon as they put the Star Fox thing into it, I think that made it. I don't know what everyone says. It's really boring. Maybe if I did go back and play it now, I'd agree. But all I remember was it was like, especially Star Fox up to that point had been you're in a fighter thing. I don't find that so funny. And you're shooting everyone. But this was like a proper adventure game with Fox McCloud. It was like Zelda. It was like Zelda meets Mario meets Star
It was.
Fox.
There was a bit though where you had to climb up the side of a temple. I remember. I think.
I remember thinking that was really good.
And I remember
Was it
getting
not?
there and be like, I give up now. This is rubbish.
The bit that I remember struggling with is you're in a squared room and a dinosaur is chasing you. I remember I found that quite hard, but I think that
Maybe
was me
that's
being-
what I'm thinking.
Well, I think that was me. I actually think that was a very easy boss fight, but I couldn't figure it out because I was an idiot. But I don't get it. It's all about Star Fox Adventures, which I presumed you wouldn't like.
Originally, Rare
I never
planned,
played it.
Okay.
Rare planned to release Star Fox Adventures for the N64 as Dinosaur Planet,
Hmm.
a game unrelated to the Star Fox series. The plot concerned Saber, who later
that's right. Yeah.
who later became Fox, and Crystal, along with sidekicks Tricky and Kite.
Just like Mario 2.
Honestly, it was like a Nintendo, what you'd expect Nintendo to produce, but they put Star Fox. I don't know what the hate's about. I don't get it. I think it's a wonderful game. I really do. I really loved it. I played it during I came to it late. I think I played it during university. I just thought...
It's got a bad rap, hasn't it?
I don't know. Well, we're going to go back and play it. And maybe I will sit down and go, oh, wait, I'm well off. This is terrible. But I remember thinking it was excellent.
I always get the impression with Star Fox Adventures that people bought it and played it expecting to be flying a spaceship.
Maybe that was the problem.
Yeah.
When they weren't, they got annoyed.
But I preferred it.
I think
I
if you
actually
follow
preferred
the
to the Star
development-
Fox games.
I guess it
Yeah,
depends.
most people
Yeah,
wouldn't follow. They'd just see Star Fox and buy it, won't they?
The original title was Star Fox Adventures Dinosaur Planet, but Dinosaur
That is
Planet
much.
was later removed. The game was Rare's final console video game released under Nintendo before being sold to Microsoft.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Was Dinosaur Planet removed because of Dinosaur
The TV
Planet?
thing.
It's
I
got to
don't
be
know.
right.
I don't know. Do you remember Jet Force Gemini?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
People
Just about
love
to say
that.
that.
Yeah, I never really got it.
I didn't really get into it.
That was where I.
That was rare, I think.
That was where the N64 lost me. Round about then.
Really?
When did it come out?
Yeah.
Was it late in its...
It was around the time that Star Wars Episode 1 Racer came out as well. I could swear it
Oh, I
was.
remember that
So must
arcade
be
machine. That
There
was
was
terrible.
98, 99?
Yeah, there's just
Can't
this
have
kind
been
of
that early.
move towards. I'd gone on to Dreamcast at that point, but yeah, Jet Force Gemini, people were like, "Oh, it's going to be amazing" and everything, and I just saw it, and I was just a bit burned out on Nintendo kind of exclusive stuff that hadn't really, despite its objective worth, hadn't really appealed to me. So I was like, I'm out. I'm done. I'm off to play Sonic Adventure.
November 99.
I remember-
Force Gemini.
Was it really? That's late.
So,
That's
yeah.
much later than I thought it was.
Does anyone agree that the Dreamcast? I don't think this, but a lot of people say that the Dreamcast was the greatest console of all time.
One of them, 100%.
The thing with the Dreamcast is all I remember is being got brought up in Luton. What year did it come out?
I just think deadness makes the heart
2001,
grow
wasn't it?
fonder,
2000?
personally.
Dreamcast, much earlier,
I thought
1998.
I thought it was 98. Because all I remember is being relatively young, so I'd have been 14, and being in my local game store, which may have still been Electronics Boutique then. I can't remember when they changed their name. And just looking at all the Dreamcast promotions and the demo pods and just seeing Sonic Adventure being like, holy shit. I mean, that is...
99, yeah.
I was blown away by it. I was just like, I desperately wanted one, but I never got
I
one.
remember that bit with the whale.
Oh, yeah.
Adventure
Yeah.
demo. I was like, oh, fuck.
But I
Changed
never-
my life.
I never really played what was the boxing game? That was
Ready to Rumble.
Ready to Rumble. I really wanted to play that. But
That
I
was
never-
great.
I think I've played a Dreamcast once in my entire life.
I
How
think
bad is that?
With the Dreamcast, the thing that struck me originally was just how, and this sounds like a weird thing to say, but I was a weird child, how well packaged it was. People go on about Apple's packaging, you know, how cool it is. The Dreamcast promotions were really cool. And like you saw like the box, all white, that blue swirl, and then blue on the sides, and the demo pods. The Xbox 360 is essentially Dreamcast 2
Was
in a lot
the
of ways.
Dreamcast the first console to kind of do that with demo pods and stuff? Is that why I have such a vivid memory of it just being in game? And
I think it would have been a mixture of.
I think they got
the new
there quite
graphics.
early.
Yeah,
Okay, right.
but I think the Dreamcast, it did have a lot of amazing games, but there can be no arguing that its reputation is enhanced massively by what happened to it. Like, you know, in those films where people go mad because like son has died and their son had a lot of potential, like Ordinary People, essentially, which no one here will see. But anyway, yeah, so it's like, you know, people... Then it was great. There were loads of great games and a diverse series of games for it, games you couldn't really get anywhere else. However, a lot of it is based upon the fact that it came out in 98, it was dead by what, 2001?
This is quite. I'm
That's
just looking at
crazy,
this.
isn't it? It's like-
EU, it came out October 14th, 1999, and it was discontinued March 31st, 2001. So it's
That
less
is
than
just-
18 months.
That is just-
Imagine if Xbox One or PS4 were discontinued
Just
right
wouldn't
now.
I got it on
happen
launch
now, would
day.
it? Just
I think it retailed for £200. I remember being a bit shocked.
the Dreamcast.
Yeah, it was.
What's that
Yeah, it was
nowadays?
$199.
It's quite a
sure.
lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
And in fact, someone was selling where I lived a Japanese imported Dreamcast just before the PAL launch, and I went to buy it because it had loads of fucking games and everything. But at that point, it had been sold.
You just reminded me of a memory I'd forgotten about when I bought my
Shit.
PS3. Because obviously PS3 was sold out everywhere. Do you remember that? Xbox 360 and
No,
PS3.
it wasn't.
I couldn't get one.
PS3?
Yeah, when
They
I went
made out you couldn't get
Well, I
one.
went into two different shops and they were like, nope.
PS3.
two different shops.
Well, how many game shops are in your vicinity where you live?
Were they fish and chip shops, Miller?
Yeah, of course.
You got a PS3.
I remember those
Weird.
photos. I remember, excuse me. I remember Sony saying how you couldn't find them anywhere, and then the photos of them just stacked up all over.
But the
place.
thing is, where I lived, there was a game in an HMV. Where else could I go? That's
Argos,
it.
Woolworths.
They didn't have them. They didn't have them where I lived. Anyway, my point being is...
Luton.
No, I was in Bournemouth when the PS3 came
right.
out. Or maybe I was in Luton. I don't know. Anyway, the point is, I was on eBay. I thought I'd just look for on eBay.
What on
And it's like,
eBay?
how much was PS3 going? Like 450 quid or whatever.
425 weren't they, I think?
425.
Somebody was selling their PS3 on eBay for £200. And this is before it came out in this country. Like it was, or it just come out. Like it was brand new. It'd been out less than, well, I got it on the day it came out. So
Yeah,
like
because
2
there was so
days.
much surplus stock. They just shift it.
But so I was like, I'm not going to trust this. But the guy said, well, you can come around my house and pay me cash in hand. Well, I can't lose. I said, even if I travel there, he goes,
I mean, you could be dead.
That was a waste of time. No, I had my gun. And I turned up his house and it was like a mansion. I was like, all right, you just don't give a shit.
Oh,
But
I get it.
got a
Was it
PS3
Peter Molyneux's house?
Yeah. Got PS3 for 200 quid on day one. It's pretty
Really?
good. Yeah, it's
Wow.
pretty good.
Oh, those
No.
launch
So you're the
titles.
guy. You're the mystical great deal on eBay guy.
Yeah, that's right.
The guy
yeah.
from goes, well, some people must be getting great deals. He goes, no, they don't exist.
Yeah,
We
I
talk
got one.
about
200 quid.
Dreamcast and 360 and that having great launch titles. PS3.
Genji Days
I'm
of the
shaking
Blade.
my head.
Historical battle.
Yeah.
A weird version of Fight Night with a first-person view, which looks
Oh yeah,
Round-
they just built it in, didn't they?
Yeah.
That's your big.
which was terrible.
Yeah, I forgot about that. too.
Absolutely dreadful.
What else did
and
it have?
it looked worse.
Well, it had
as
a load
well.
of ports of 360 games. It had Splinter Cell and Sonic and all
Splinter
that.
Cell.
But it was
The
like
Godfather of the
Resistance,
game.
Motorstorm. Mine came
Motorstorm
with a
was
free
okay
Blu-ray
though,
of
right?
Click.
I got
Sandler.
That really good movie.
I got X-Men 3. I tried to give it back, and they were like, "No, you actually have to take
You have to
this."
take.
X3.
Oh no, yeah, I got Casino Royale. Was it?
Yeah.
one of the
That's
James
not
Bond
too bad.
movies.
That's right.
That's
No,
not
but it
too
was just a
bad.
James Bond movie. I can't remember which one it was. But yeah, I
think
got it as well.
Genji
It would have been
free
that.
mine as well. but-
Yeah, I did it when they didn't
Oh,
reduce
Ridge
the
Racer
price.
7 as well. Sorry, I just
They didn't reduce the price, but they packed in like Motorstorm and Resistance and an extra pad or some shit like that.
They did what Microsoft's doing. Xbox
Yeah.
One.
Yeah.
But I think for a bit, back to the kind of Dreamcast point, what it represents is a lot more important, I think, than necessarily just like the software library. When you think about greatest consoles ever, you think about like the SNES, for example, and the PlayStation 2 and the original PlayStation. But the Dreamcast had so much cool shit, especially if the age I was, like 15 or so. Like you could connect to the internet. It was all very rudimentary, but you'd never been able to do that in
The
that way
trendsetter, a lot of
in
things.
the
Yeah.
UK. Dream Arena, baby. I was there.
Yeah.
And then I got a free copy of fucking
Choo
what's
Choo
it called?
Rocket.
Choo Choo Rocket.
Oh, Choo Choo Rocket
Oh,
was
talking about Choo Choo
incredible.
Rocket.
Set me on my
day.
path to become a corrupt game journalist by getting free games. I just opened the door. I didn't even know it was coming. And then this guy went, "Oh, you Stephen Burns?" I was like, "Yeah."
maybe.
Took it, opened it. I was like, "Wow,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
there's a game in here." Should have just gone back and said, "Excuse me."
Got any more?
Yeah. But there was loads of cool initiatives. There was loads of. It had a quite good Resident Evil game on it.
Mental.
It had
The
blue.
excitement around Soul Calibur. People got really
Yeah.
excited for Soul Calibur.
I bought a Dreamcast in, I think it must have been 2007.
Mm-hmm.
I bought it out of a car boot sale in Hartlepool,
There you go.
in Teesside,
For like a fiver.
in the worst place in Great Britain. Like Hartlepool's a shithole. Like it's the worst. Anyway, that's by.
I think what it represents as well. Oh, sorry, man. Carry on.
Karen.
You've just reminded me though. You've reminded me not by saying Hartlepool, but Dreamcast was the first console really to nail what was a very big thing at the time, which was arcade perfect and
Yeah, Ready to Rumble gave me that kind of
Virtua
impression.
Tennis,
Yeah.
House of the Dead 2. And I remember going back over Christmas, I went back over old back issues of CVG, the golden era, and they were talking about Virtua Fighter 3 Team Battle and the excitement in their faces and voices of like, oh my life, it's going to be just like the arcade. You can play because the Saturn was so poor.
Crazy Taxi.
You could play all of these games, exactly, Virtua Striker, all of that sort of shit. And so I think when people look back, there's a nostalgia for that, a nostalgia for the time when there was still a clear delineation between the arcades and home consoles. And
You're
suddenly
right. I think it's a
Sega
very good shout.
came along and did all that.
It was so easy to pirate for. I mean,
It's so good.
This is what I was
So
leading up
stupid.
to, because that when I bought it, it came with this sort of HMV branded CD wallet, which was like you couldn't close it. It was stuffed with Dreamcast games. I swear to God, the only actual genuine Dreamcast game in there was like 3 copies of Choo Choo Rocket.
Amazing.
Do you remember the Bleemcast?
Yes, I do.
Couldn't you play like Gran Turismo on Dreamcast?
and Metal Gear Solid, you
But
could.
they were then high resolution or something.
They were smoothed, essentially.
Yeah. That's crazy.
What a weird time that was for
I
video
remember
games.
making there was ISO images of like emulators that you could burn and then run on the Dreamcast. So you could burn the emulator like boot program and whatever ROMs you wanted, and put it in the Dreamcast, and it came up, and it was just a list of NES games or whatever, Mega Drive, whatever you wanted to do. And
Fucking good console, that.
Yeah,
For some bizarre
smashing.
reason,
Like it was criminal's paradise, wasn't it? Really?
all of this has reminded me about the first time I started playing games online. I don't know why. It was SOCOM 2 on the PlayStation 2. I bought a fucking network
was it?
adapter.
Really?
SOCOM 2.
SOCOM 2.
Did you
oh,
have
yeah.
which PlayStation did you have? Do you have the one where you had to like a VHS thing in the back? You had to screw it
the
in.
thing that you could kill a man with, yeah. I remember I bought like 70 quid from Game or something. Fuck off, Game. But I don't know why it made me think this, but I remember I went to play SOCOM 2 and I was really intimidated because I was like, what the hell am I doing? I mean, I tried to play Call of Duty 2 Big Red One, which didn't work. So I started playing SOCOM 2 online. And think about this now. Think about this happening in today's day and age. I had a headset on. Some dude came up to me, obviously in-game, and said over the headset, do you want some help? I was like, what do you mean? And they said, well, I can see you don't know what you're doing. I was like, no, taught me the whole game. Imagine someone doing that in Call of Duty now. It just wouldn't happen.
Wouldn't happen.
They made a
no.
huge fuss over SOCOM 2, didn't they? About
I
it being the
SOCOM 2
first
I thought
one.
was incredible. Like, I
I didn't really get into it. It was a bit too hardcore for me, I think. At the
It
time.
was
But-
super hardcore. the second
I
one.
don't know why on earth I chose that. It's not. I don't know. I've never been that kind of player, but I got really good at it as well, just because I played it so much.
This is a
but-
good point. What was the first online game and you guys remember playing?
Definitely that one.
On a
I
console.
vividly,
So SOCOM
absolutely vividly. It was
Super,
hard
yeah.
to get on it, but it was really
Yeah.
good.
I think it might have been something like Unreal Tournament or something on PC,
Yeah, yeah.
but console was probably Choo Choo Rocket.
The first one I'm sure it was, you've reminded me, Dave, it was either Unreal Tournament or Quake 3, because my friend Dave had an older brother, classic older brother shit, where he was like a little bit older as well, maybe 3 or 4 years. So enough while you were like, 14, so he could be out having a real job essentially, or owning, And so, his brother used to work at McDonald's. And I remember him coming back with a new PC and all that cool shit. And we were looking at Quake 3 going, oh my days, look
Yeah.
at this. He was like loitering. Can we ever go? No. 2 hours later, can we ever go? All right, I'm going
One
to the
of the-
toilet. When I come back, you get
You're
off
off
this.
again, yeah.
Okay.
One of the first online games that I got totally addicted to was Enemy Territory. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was good.
Yes, it was amazing.
Castle Wolfenstein.
With the Overlord map.
Brilliant.
With the flamethrowers down when they had to come up the beach.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, man, I'm going home. Going home right now.
Can we just play that again? That was great.
Yeah,
Why?
we-
How has no one ever done that?
Well, they did Quake Wars, didn't
They did, but it wasn't.
Oh, it wasn't very good, was it?
Isn't their
Capture the
office
Mag.
is just down the road, essentially, isn't it? Splash damage. Let's go knock on the door and say,
What happened to Brink?
just say, we've got enemy territory installed still.
That's
They blatantly have. They blatantly have.
I'm looking dates. That's 2003. That seems quite late. I was 17. I would have been to play that online. That doesn't.
I think that's about
There must have
right.
been games out
'cause
before then.
I must have played a bit of Unreal Tournament online, but it hasn't. There's always that
I
one
remember
game
it.
that kind of stomps on you a little
I think
bit.
I've got Half-Life as well. Half-Life, where you could hop in and it would just you could generate the maps yourself. So you could have your own server.
I don't think I ever tried it.
I did it, and I remember being fucking terrified. But one of the games that I really got into, even though I was terrible at it, was Soldier of Fortune 2. That multiplayer,
shit.
played that
Is there
quite
multiplayer
a lot.
in
Yeah, quite a lot. In fact, and I was
That was
fucking-
well gory, that game.
and it was hard. Like online, it was hard, and people were really fucking good at that game. So,
that was nice, small communities, but good, not I mean good as in good people. I mean skilled. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
everyone is
maybe too skilled.
First game I played online was Star Trek Star Trek Elite Force.
Of course, it was.
And it was it's essentially fucking Quake 2. Same engine and everything. Although I think they might have. No, this is getting too.
It's
too
fine.
busy.
Wasn't it Quake
Jim, you just reminded me
3
that we're going to make a
engine?
video about Star Trek: A Final Unity. just
Yeah,
so you know.
we're going to do
it's
that.
going-
It was made on the Quake. It was intended for Quake 2. Then last minute they upgraded it to Quake 3, which is why it looks like a Quake 2 game.
Yeah.
On the Quake 3 engine. I fucking loved that. I
course
put
you
so
did.
many hours into that. I was terrible at it.
That game only existed in the pages of PC Zone to me, because
Oh, man.
no one I knew would ever have played it, and it was before file sharing and everything. So you wouldn't just nick it to have a little go on it. And I was just like, fucking me, look at this game. This is Star Trek. Look at it. Pew, pew, pew. Little phaser guns. Shite.
Thinking back, that was probably the first nail in the coffin of the Star Trek franchise, really.
Do you remember when
no one knew
The
about.
fucking the tagline on the box was "Set phasers to frag."
Oh man, that's some 55-year-old guy sat in a meeting,
totally.
suited up to the nines, going, "Don't worry, guys, I got this."
Do you remember when Quake 2 came out on PS1? I remember there was a lot of conversation at the time about how
Oh, it was incredible.
first-person shooters would
By
never
Hammerhead.
work on a control pad, on a controller.
I remember, because I remember all of that, because I remember, for me, it was GoldenEye, and that's all the magazine said. This is it. This is console. Rah, rah, rah.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
bought into that. Like,
This is the jump.
Yeah, I was like, seething for it. You know what I mean? I was desperate for it. Everyone went mental about GoldenEye. People forget about that. Like at the
Oh, no,
time, it
people love
was.
GoldenEye. People-
But no, but I mean, in terms of its importance, I remember, especially official, of course, but especially official Nintendo magazine. Every issue were like, "Don't you fucking forget, you idiots! This is going to change your life," and it did.
I remember reading the last issue before the last preview before they reviewed it, and they seemed exhausted. Like
Yeah.
we've talked about this game quite a lot, so
Well, it came out 2 years after the movie, didn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone forgets that. Like, it was not a tie-in. It
yeah.
was really
it was a
late.
SNES game originally, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they just like, yeah, we
Just
need
crazy.
time.
Was it?
Yeah,
Yeah, they were well late. I'm glad they were. It's the best thing that ever happened. But
Yeah.
I have to say, it's getting to that time now. We've got to stop.
I'm desperate for a wee.
We've got to
Well, there
go.
we go. That's
I'm
another
banging my
reason.
leg to try and take
Afraid
this.
so, but thanks very much, patrons.
we love you all.
We
Yeah.
will be, of course, doing an exclusive video for you lot this week, and it is not to spoil it, but it is. It's not that special, to be honest. But it is.
Oh, thanks very much.
Jim.
Oh, I don't know why I bothered. What was the point?
It's actually terrible.
Retro.
No, it is Dave and Brett reminiscing about the Mega Drive via.
a bit in it.
Brett reminisce about the Mega Drive?
know.
Well, it's Dave
It's like him reminiscing about World War II.
It's Dave reminiscing about the Mega Drive, and Brett is there.
There's a bit in it.
Call it that. Dave Reming's a bit.
Brett laughs.
is,
He laughs when I tell him that my grandparents died.
What? Why is there?
So disrespectful.
Yeah, finish it now. Just finish
delete
it.
that.
Why?
Delete all of
Why?
this.
Why?
I don't know. I said to it, I was playing
That's
Aladdin.
not cool, man.
I said to it, I was playing Aladdin.
I think
And-
Dave's leaving out some context
Yeah, it's just
that-
context free.
in order to
Well,
make
I wanna
Brett
hear- I wanna
look a
hear-
lot.
we were playing Aladdin.
Yep.
And I said, my grandparents bought me this. This reminds me of that time of my life. And he started laughing. Because I said, oh, they're dead now. He started laughing.
It's funny you say that though, because
I think he was laughing at the way you went. They're dead now.
Yeah, that's probably more.
Caveman Ninja. Was that what it's called? Mac and Joe.
Ninja.
That reminds me of my grand. My nan bought me that. Every time I ever see it, I always, yeah.
My
I get
great
it.
grandmother bought me Splathouse too. Oh yeah.
Fucking hell. Nan knew what she was doing. Nan was on it.
My grandmother was a born-again Christian, and she believed that video games were tools of the devil to recruit the young. So
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, that's not even a joke. That is the sad truth.
Oh my.
And she's dead now. So anyway, thanks very much for listening. See you next week. Bye.
Good.